I'm going to introduce our speakers here. We have Trad Cotter, is a microbiologist, professional mycologist, and organic gardener who has been tissue culturing, collecting native fungi in the Southeast, and cultivating both commercially and experimentally for more than 22 years. We have Rachel Zoller, is a myco-educator and loves introducing people to the beautiful world of mushrooms through storytelling, photography, and video. Her self-taught journey has taught her tricks for cultivating the same curiosity in others through teaching about mushroom identification, sustainable foraging practices, and the function of fungi. And we have William Padilla Brown, who's a social entrepreneur, citizen scientist, mycologist, amateur phycologist, urban shaman, writer, YouTube blogger, nonprofit director, researcher, poet, and father. William holds permaculture design certificates. William is leading the country in the field of cordyceps cultivation. Hello, everybody.
I would say a couple of key factors to look for a good mushroom season is when in your area are there temperature and moisture changes happening. Because where I live, it's very distinct seasons. We have very distinct spring, a very distinct fall, and those are the mushroom seasons. However, in other areas, it may be the summertime when you get that moisture coming in, that temperature change. So look for those patterns where you live. That's going to be kind of your peak mushroom season. You could be lucky enough to be somebody who lives somewhere where your mushrooms are kind of all year round and just different mushrooms pop up throughout the year, which is great. Something to key into is kind of look at the biodiversity around you. The more biodiversity that there is, more there as far as like plants and trees and everything, the more variety there's going to be in mushrooms.
Gardens, there's around your house. I'm into edible landscaping and not ornamentals anymore. So I like to mix in King Stropharia into wood chips, bluets into compost, and almond portobellas into the vegetable garden. So that's my way of getting mushrooms in the gardens themselves, is like a functional landscaping, like a food producing layering of plants and mushrooms and mulch and in compost. And on your farm, you can get started by, growing mushrooms on shiitakes are easy, and oyster mushrooms. A lot of those are training wheels, like super easy to get started, and don't start with anything too difficult. So you can have some level of degree of success that you can build a more difficult mushroom cultivation technique upon. So I think it's great. I mean, growing your own mushrooms is amazing, and there's nothing better than walking out into your yard or your farm or your forest after a rainy day and you see your logs covered with food. It's like, wow.
We're like, let's use mushrooms to figure out how to take off the waste of other industries, and then the mushroom industry is making waste. And then so who's like, how do we take care of the waste of the mushroom industry? Right. So I got the algae pumping right over here, like taking care of the CO2 that's coming out of my mushroom farm because I want to be responsible for it. Even though it's not that much, I want to be responsible for all of the carbon that I touch ever. So my algae is taking care of that CO2 that comes out. And then I want to be able to take care of the plastic. That's why I set up a plastic recycling facility right here, because I make plastic and I need to be responsible for it because it's from me and it's my responsibility.